Good good morning. What is on my there we go. The light, it starts dark and then it gets lighter. So I get frightened and I go, why am I so dark? Am I in a cave? And then it turns out in fact I'm not. And it's a fun little surprise for me. Hello everybody. Today is Sunday. And as such, welcome to the program. Is the last Sunday in February, unless I have some sort of prank calendar, in which case, bravo, tricksters. You did a hell of a job. Let us get a look at the underwear here. There, I've deduced that this color, of course, is a shade of orange, but it's persimmon. If you've ever seen a persimmon, a lot of people say they will say persimmons when they're talking about just one, but it's actually a persimmon, and plural would be persimmons. Something to think about. And let's do a lot of thinking today. Maybe that's the important thing here. Let us talk to people first, and then I'm going to press the coffee early. I feel like I need it. I was up late last night, writing by candlelight. Clinty said, well, hello there, RJ. How are you doing these days so far? Well, these days so far, I guess I'm okay. Clinty also said, if you want to ask how I am too, I'm very well, so thank you, sir. I do not, so I won't. Ty said, good morning, RJ. How's your weekend been? It's half over, maybe. A lot of getting things together and organizing. You know, the thing where like you're doing organizing and you're getting stuff together and you're laying it all out in order to clean it, but you have to get almost more messy first to go through it all. I'm in that stage. So mentally, cluttered, but I'm cleaning. And aren't we all? A friend said to me the other day, it was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, how are you? How are you? I'm just uncovering this unresolved childhood trauma. So they're not feeling good. And I'm like, well, no, that's good. Because otherwise, if you didn't resolve it, you're still sitting on it and dealing with it. And if you're not aware of it, that's why people just like snap at people all of a sudden because they're dealing with shit and they don't even realize it. So if you're dealing with shit, if it's messy, but you're aware of the mess and you've caused the mess in a sense in order to clean it, then it's ultimately good. So Sierra said, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Rachel said, good morning. Nug is here and said, oh, happy day to all. And I don't know if you saw on my story, but Nug's baby was wearing my baby onesie, which I gifted them. Perhaps one of the most obnoxious gifts of all time. It's a lovely portrait of my face twice. Those Olean portraits, it's like that. The baby seemed happy, but I don't think the baby is quite aware of what's going on, the level of narcissism that's involved. However, if you want to get your baby a onesie, or maybe you just want to buy a onesie ahead of time in preparation, you can go to my store. It's in the comments there. Mia said, good morning, beautiful people. Mia said, hey, Archie, did you see David on To Tell the Truth this past week? I've heard about this To Tell the Truth for so long. They filmed it a while ago, as they do most game shows. I mean, we filmed Family Feud in like March, and it didn't come out until like 4 or 5 months later. I saw David. For those of you who haven't seen it, well, I don't want to give it away. All I can say is, without fail, in the utmost sense of consistency, David did a horrible job. Okay? Michelle said, hi, everyone. Hope this day finds you doing well. And it has found me, like a Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. Neil said, good morning. There's scissors above the chat. We can make clips. I don't know how YouTube clips quite works, but click around and see what you can do. Maybe this will relieve your gifting ails. Charlie said, RJ, is it more important to say I love you to someone or to show them you love them through your actions? Well, I think people can feel loved through action without words. I don't think people can feel loved through words and no action. So think about that. Sarah is here, said, hey, RJ, and good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Leo said, do you have a B. Arthur calendar? No, and I don't know that one exists. I would love that. Wonderful painting of her topless, but just for every single month. Speaking of a man who consistently doesn't do anything well. He finally did something well. He's been trying to find the show in different time zones for a number of weeks. David Arquette is in the chat and said, hello, friends, and hello, and thank you for figuring out where you are in the world and then figuring out what time you should watch this show in relation to where you are in the world. So I appreciate that. A little where in the world is David Arquette. Aaron said, good morning, Sunday friends. Ty said, hi, David. Everyone said good morning to David. Sean Flagstaff has rejoined the Key to the City. He hated it, and now he's back in. Enjoy the bevy of exclusive videos that I've already done and that are upcoming, and the Q&As. I just posted one this week. And then you'll get to ask a question next week. Andrea said good morning. Christine said morning. Got my tickets for the Greektown show yesterday. Yes, Greektown Wrestling is coming back. April something. There's a poster. I retweeted it. Whatever. I'm on the poster. I haven't confirmed that I will be there. Nevertheless, I'm on the poster. But I mean, the chances of the guarantee that a wrestler will show up if they're on the poster is like maybe 60%. So I wouldn't get too excited. David said, let us talk to each other with your persimmons. He tried to spell persimmons. Persimmons is Persimmon, not persimmons. And you know what? You can claim dyslexia all you want. Persimmons is literally in the title of this video. So all you had to do is copy and paste it. There's zero excuse. Julio said, I'm late, but I'm here, and there you are. Sean said, didn't want to say hi till my name was the proper color. So it's like a nice ranking system, but I don't want to start a class warfare here. Hey, occulties. Hi, RJ. David said he knows. Nails is welcoming Sean back. Leo said, can you convince David to join via Spaces? No, I can't. Just be happy he's here in the limited form he is. Be grateful for the shred of humanity he gives you. Sean said, this is clever. I've always heard it's better to ask forgiveness than persimmons. A little fruit joke for the kids. Brian is here. Pleasure to see you this morning, Mr. City. Pleasure to see you. Brian was formerly my manager in Buffalo, and we had fun. We had a good time. He did a lot of running around. Anytime you managed me, it was like hatching some sort of scene with an old Batman 66 film. So there's a lot involved. Christine said, Baby Nug is adorable, and that is the child's name, Baby Nug. Andrea said, Baby Nug is very cute. David Arquette said, good morning, all. See, he's back in business. Positively E said, hi. Andrea said, good morning to David. Shanta, this is Romper Room all of a sudden. Nell said, where do I watch this? Yeah, would you watch To Tell the Truth? I don't know where you would watch it. And that's got to be online or Hulu or something. It was the latest episode. It's this week's episode of it. So you'll figure it out. Guard1 said, good morning, RJ. Good morning, David. Good morning, all. Leo said, following the whole underwear theme, I bought weed print underwear, but I don't really do weed at all. It doesn't matter because people will still think you're cool. When you show up at the library you work at with weed underwear, they're just like, this guy's pretty chill. Don't ask him where the books are. He's just having a good time. Neil said, the clip thing is brand new to me. It was there for a time, and then I don't know what happened to it on my end, but see if you can make something of it. I think it's like how Twitch clips. By the way, I want to say Val Pancakes, who might be in the chat, might not, had her doing the stack with Val thing, and she had a wonderful wrestler named Philip Cardigan on the show, and he was wearing my shirt, and I was so touched because I was not planning on wearing his. So I thank him. What a kind gentleman. Sean, I don't hate the scissors or the month-anniversary super chat. Oh, you don't have the scissors or the month-anniversary super chat. Super chat month-anniversary comes and goes, but hang in there. You'll get it. Leo said, I don't know if North Americans use the term weed. North Americans use the term marijuana cigarette. I believe that is the correct term. It's like it's a little more youthful. Rachel doesn't have the clip thing. Nails must be just very fancy. Leo said a B. Arthur calendar must exist. Well, I'm sure it exists. Nell said, I tested a clip, but I have no idea where it went. Even better. Julio said, does the live ease with noise, Gio? Julio, is anyone having weird noise problems? Or is it just Julio's phone? And they should perhaps bang it against the wall or something. David said, I gave up. What else is new? You did. I don't want to give that show away, but you could have been a little more of an actor. Just throwing it out there. Leo said, don't give up. Please don't give up. Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. Neil said, there's a sort of noise happening for me too. SM hears it as well. I have no idea why there should be no noises. Does anyone know what the noise is? Joden said, persimmons are scrumptious, by the way. I've used them in cooking and baking before and made persimmon liqueur and jam as well. Persimmon is very not underrated, I guess, because I don't even think people are rating it. It needs to get out there more. Persimmon could use a publicist the way, like 15 years ago, kale got a publicist. You understand what I'm saying? There was like all of a sudden, it was like, you guys were out. It's like Nicolas Cage was all over the place, and then somebody sat him down. They're like, let's get strategic here. And he figured it all out. That's what kale did too. Because kale has been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands. Brian said, we did have fun. We had a hoot and we had a pip. Spot Center said, who is your favorite SCTV cast member? Oh, probably Martin Short, even though he didn't come in till later. But once he came in, I felt they had also really hit their stride. I would say that's easily my answer. Julio said, oh, then it isn't just me. I thought my cell phone was problems. Well, I don't know. Leo said, David, do you know how to join spaces? Leo's trying to walk David through. Nail said, I don't know how to describe it. Oh, Jesus. It's like an old-fashioned speaker scratch thing. Well, maybe that's part of the vintage charm. Positively E said, I wish someone sent me persimmons for my birthday on the 14th. Well, Positively E is letting you know. For anyone who wants to gift a persimmons, of course, from my Persimmons gift club. It's very popular. You will get a persimmon, and you're able to send it to whoever you want. So far, we have 8 people signed up already. David said, tell me, do. Oh, keep your nose on. The Bull Monkey said, hey, good morning, all. Positively E said, to tell the truth, still on the air. Well, it's not the original To Tell the Truth. This is a rebooted, hip version with fun celebrities, and I think you'll enjoy it. Brian said, I assume I missed the episode with the coffee I sent you a while back. Yes, you absolutely did. I have no idea when that episode was now, but it's on YouTube somewhere. We just have to go find it and figure out the date. But regardless, Brian did send me coffee, and it was very sweet, so thank you. Chanel said, yes, Philip Cardigan. I am a Cardi fan. Bald Monkey said, touched but concerned the way he was wearing it. Don't know what you're referring to. Positively E said, we call weed the sticky icky in the United States. I did not know that either. Julio said, there's like purple circles in the top of Twitter, just like Instagram stories. Join and ask to speak. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Let the man enjoy the fucking show, will you please? Andrea said, are you planning on doing mug and coffee combo with Rootless with Mina Coletta's new artwork? If they want it. If people are buying enough of my coffee and it warrants a mug, then I'm sure they will do it. And if you want to celebrate Mina Coletta's fine new high anxiety artwork, you can buy the hip new fresh bag at rootlesscoffee.com kind of thing. Sean said, if it's not weed, it's bud. I didn't like that term either. Positively E said, I don't hear any noise. This might be between your ears. Well, somebody has to give a real concerted. David said, I just joined the YMCA. I can't join any more spaces. And it's good for him, though. It's a sense of community there. And I think that's what I was worried about him for a while. David said they should use the Cuties Tangerine people. What are you talking about? Michelle said, in North America, we'd call them marijuana cigarettes if we were all in our 90s. When you go out on the street here, I say, hey, do you kids have any weed? Nobody answers me. And I say, excuse me, do you have a marijuana cigarette? They know what I'm talking about. Nail said, I made a clip and tweeted it. I guess that's what it does. Does anyone see Nail's clip? She's figured, look at this experimentation in real time. Maureen said, okay, I've been thinking of this all week. Who thinks Stevie Richards and Alex Reynolds are twins? I think they just have similar hair, but even then it could be a little better. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the jaws could be similar. Like they could be better. You know, if I had to adjust the person's face, I would adjust it a little more. Spot Center said, if you're sitting in a chair and have to get up and walk, which foot goes first? Well, if you're my grandfather, you try to do both at the same time and then hang in the air a little bit and say, good God Almighty, before finally rising to your feet. Brian said, David, how about this? You, me, team up to further destroy RJ's life. I believe he's already done a very fine job. Okay, Gamer said, well, hi, and well, hi to you also as well. Leo said, would you rather watch Virgil piss his pants? I may have seen that already. Or Marty Jannetty sign a 400-pound man's ass? Let's go with Marty. Sometimes in these either ors, I'm Virgil heavy. Let's give Marty a shot. Let's see him sign a man's ass. Spot's going to say, Jack Spratt and his wife. I know of no couples like them. I know plenty of couples like them. Nail said, is the YMCA still a thing? Oh my God, yes, it absolutely is. If you're in a town or a city and you need a gym, reasonable options. Something to look into. You don't have to do a whole thing, a dance or anything, or join the religion. They're fairly open. Spot Center said, I saw wrestling in the Joe Montana Gymnasium at the YMCA. Well, if Joe Montana has his own gym there, then it's quality stuff. David said, despite the heel stature RJ directs towards him, despite being a babyface, still support him, Brian. Being a babyface is not about what I do. It's just that you guys just like me now. I'm a babyface. Like, those are the rules. That's how that works. Positively E said, Stevie Richards is the Big Show in No Mercy, and they both had cosplay gimmicks. Yeah, it's a little factoid there for you. Leo said, Margot Stunt looks a bit like Kelsey Grammer. I gotta tell you something. Kelsey Grammer looks like a lot of different wrestlers. Obviously, The Undertaker a lot, a little bit of Kane. And then there's that guy, that meme they tweeted a while ago of, if Kelsey Grammer took steroids. That one. Neil said, RJ often forgets he's a babyface. No, you forget I'm the babyface. I just say I'm the babyface. That's it. Speaking of, there will be more babyface tomorrow. And I believe I think I have a cat hair on my nose. And on Wednesday, is there something in? This is hideous. No, I'm fine. It's just itching me. I'm better now. And on Wednesday, I can announce it here because I believe they'll be tweeting it out later. You can see me on an episode of GAW TV. And GAW, of course, stands for Grown Ass Women, and TV stands for television. And it is the show hosted by SoCal Val, Lisa Marie, and Mickey James. We had a good time, and we talked about a lot of stuff. We covered a lot of ground, and I think you will enjoy it, so do stay tuned. Rod said, sock, shoe, or sock, shoe, or sock, shoe. No. Sock, shoe. You got to clear the items. You got to go all at once. All socks, all shoes. Does that make any sense? All gloves. Be a little ridiculous to put a glove on and then put, a jacket on halfway and then put the other glove, right? You wouldn't even go glove. You would go jacket, done, glove. So, come on. Doden said, RJ is an international treasure. Thank you. Doden said, I do both stockings first, then shoes. Well, stockings are just long, beige, gross socks. That's what I've always said. Leo said, would you rather comfort Virgil while he drunk cries or have to comfort Marty Jannetty through a toilet cubicle while he has food poisoning poo? I'm gonna pick Virgil on that one. And I think I've done that before also as well. Brian said, fair enough, David. I appreciate you taking such good care of him after I left the business. Nail said, I bet Mickey could get your money back from Chelsea. Oh, believe me, Chelsea Green owing me $10 is discussed at length with Mickey James. This could really blow the lid off the whole investigation. David said, I sock you and throw a shoe at you, which I believe is a formal sign of dissent, as long as it's a dress shoe. Spot Center said, Joe Montana and I ran the same local streets, only separated by a handful of years. The tire swing he threw a football through is still in a neighbor's yard rotting away. Joe couldn't get them a new fucking tire with all the money he has? Take care. That's the shit that made you famous, Joe. Really, it is. Put down your rings and nice pants. Get this person a new tire. Leo said, do you think Johnny Knoxville is going to do a David Arquette 2000 and win a major wrestling belt? Well, first of all, the major difference is that Johnny Knoxville is in a successful film while he's doing this stuff, number one. Number two, it was always like David was trying to do the WWE stuff. It's like, they don't want to, maybe you're a little too old or not in the right shape. They want like younger, hipper, like obviously like a Bad Bunny or one of the Paul brothers. Like, oh, okay, I get it. And then Johnny Knoxville comes along, is somehow more gangly than David. He's somehow more David than David. And it's very confusing. And now, David, I think it's fair to say you can take that personally. Julio said, Johnny Knoxville is often popping up on my Explore page, by the way. Well, I have nothing to do with that. Let me press my coffee a little because I want to start drinking. Neil said, I feel bad. Virgil and Marty are being lumped together like they're similar. I know Virgil wants to make money for his breadsticks, but Marty is just a bad person. Is Virgil a bad person? In my experience, no. In my experience, he just has a bizarre understanding of history and time travel. He said back in the 80s, he was friends with Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, and they would have been teens at best, if not children then. Rachel said, you would have nothing left to talk about if Chelsea gave you the $10. Oh, believe me, I have a lot of other fucking grievances. You don't worry about that. I'm just going down the list. Rob said, if Chelsea ever actually pays you $10 back, it's going to ruin so much of your future content. No. Believe me, there's more. Look. You guys thought, oh, what's he going to do? We settled this stuff with David. Moved right on to Mark Ruffalo. Moved right on to Stanley Tucci. Vicki Lawrence is also, sitting in the bullpen. Don't worry about it. We are fine. There will never stop being an amount of people doing ridiculous things in a trivial sense that offends me. However, let me say, she seems like she has no plans to pay me back. Maybe after this episode of God TV airs. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a shoot interview, okay? Let me put this stevia in to sweeten this because I'm so bitter right now. Yolanda is here. Say good morning, party people. Positively, he said, I've never been socked off by a clown. I'm going to ask you to define socked off. Sean said, to be fair, if Montana threw a football through my tire swing, I wouldn't move it either. I'd probably put a plaque there and call it a historical society. Rachel said, Johnny Knoxville is not going to take the title or I will riot. Rob said, me and Rachel just became best friends. Julio said, the recommendation say maybe would interest you, Johnny Knoxville. I can see why the algorithm would think that. Positively, he said, Knoxville has a sea of white hair. David is merely salt and pepper. Doden said, RJ, I most certainly do not wear hideous beige stockings, black silk, or fishnets only. Okay, much better. Sorry, and I apologize. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I don't even own a single piece of clothing that isn't black. Well, now you're just being a big shot. Spot Center said, I've seen 3 doinks. How many have you seen? I've seen doinks that, it would blow your fucking mind that they call them doinks. You'd be like, that is not. The one thing that is not is a doink. Leo said, Bozo versus Alabama doink outside a restaurant. Mia said, sing I've Got Friends in Low Places, please and thank you. One of my favorite songs. Friends in Low Places. I love this song. Yeah. I am very tall. I have some friends that are small. I live in a valley you see, and my friends live below me. I'll tell you something, it's quite a sitch. All my friends do live in a ditch. I've got ba friends in low places, ba. Just look at their faces, ba. Friends in low places, ba. I am taller than them. It's a genetic thing, I guess you could say. My friends are very upset. They certainly do not see it that way. I've got friends in low places, no kind of traces, friends in low places, please grant me your graces. It's not that I'm so tall, it's just that my friends are small, but I'm and when they say life is a bitch, it's just because they're in a ditch. I've got friends in low places. Just look at their faces. Please give me your graces. I've got friends in low places. That was friends in your low places. One of my favorites, Kevin Featherstone, with a wonderful tribute, a yellow tribute, with saying coffee time and thank you. And there's also a wonderful profile picture. It makes me very happy to see your face. Kevin has known me for quite a long time, and I don't want to say he's seen me mature, but he's certainly seen me grow, and perhaps he's seen me immature. Maybe that would be safer to say. But thank you to you. Matt Taven was in Pittsburgh for Wrestle Pitts. Where were you? Said Spot Center. I have no idea. And he was also in New Orleans with Dalton doing a comedy show. Nobody invited me. Leo said, what celebrity would win a major singles championship and not upset a lot of people? Tank Abbott? I don't think would upset a lot of people. Rob said, I looked for that episode of Mike Douglas with Andre the Giant for quite a while last week. I think you might have to put in a special request somewhere. I'm going to put it out again. There's an episode of Mike Douglas, the Mike Douglas Show. That's not Michael Douglas. It's Mike Douglas on a beach. And it has Vern Gagne in it, Jerry Lewis, Andre the Giant, another wrestler named Chris Taylor. Also apparently has Jacques Cousteau and Bert Convey. They wrestle. Mike Douglas wrestles Andre the Giant in a ring on the beach. I've seen pictures and a very small clip, but I'm desperately looking for the full episode. So if anyone can find this, it would be of such help. I'm going to have to start contacting family of the deceased. Rob said there's some sort of TV museum in Chicago. I'm familiar with them, and I've been in contact with them, so that is a good idea. I looked at the Paley Center, which is really the largest old television archive, things of that nature, and they could not find it at all. Mia said, I was in Florida. I'm hoping to see him in Dallas. I don't know who you're talking about. Nell said, I'll add her to the list. Who are we talking about? Vicki Lawrence? Literal friends in ditches. I take this literally. This is a song. There's no time for, whatever. Yolanda said, oh, look, everyone's here. Unless someone is booked, I would like to you in the cult via spaces. Oh, my God. Sure. Let me get through these comments and then, okay. This was just so exciting. David said it's sad when he doesn't know the songs. Maybe you don't know the fucking songs, okay? Ba-da-ba. People like that shit. Leo said, who's less funny, male British wrestling journalists or British female comedians? I would say British wrestling journalists by far. Easily. I can think of, off the top of my head, female British comedians that I'm it's the best. Flo and Joan is number one on my list. They're great. Rachel said, please give me your braces. What? That's the best improv song so far. See, people like it. David said, I beat Tank Abbott. See? And now you got the return feud, the build-up. Oh, it's going to be good. RJ, do you have a letterbox? No, I don't. And I don't really know what it is. Leo said, do I think Tank Abbott was hot? A little bit. Would Bunny Rabbit dropping ping pong balls on Captain Kangaroo be considered bullying today? No. I mean, I wouldn't. I think it's just ping pong balls. Shanika said, good morning, everyone. Let's talk to Yolanda. let's see if let's see if she can figure it out. Give her a minute. David said, "I'm a fan of Hank the Tank, the bear that isn't scared of humans. I want to see Hank the Tank Abbott. Someone should do that matchup." But Yolanda's on mute. She's figuring it out. She's one step away. Once she unmutes, it is time. It is time. Hello?
Are we in business?
Oh, we are. Yes, the meeting can finally begin. Open your agendas, everyone.
Hey.
Hello. Say hello to everyone that's listening and watching or whatever. Now let's talk about hey. I want to talk about it because some people say hey. It's difficult for me to say.
Why?
It's hard for my mouth to do 3 heys. I'm just more of a 1 hey. Do you alternate? Do you go back and forth? Sometimes you just say hey.
Yes, you know what? Oh man, I'm giving out the way the secrets.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm a pseudo lie a little bit, but sometimes it's being lazy. Like if you just do 2 hays, it might be a little lazy. But if I really like you, you get all 3.
Oh wow.
And the last hay is all dragged out. Yeah.
But what if I do that just with the 1 hay? Why can't you just, if I really like you, my 1 hay lasts longer than honestly 3 hays. Hey! You can get like 4 hays in there.
I think that will suffice, only coming from you.
I mean, what's to be gained by the extra hays?
I think it just depends on I guess the tone, the tonalities of it all.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I can do 1 hay, let me say, but it's going to be the only hay I know is the one. Hey.
Oh wow, that's like almost a lyric, you know?
Yeah, I only do it that way.
Yeah, it's 1 hay, but it has more than 1 note.
Yeah, I can only do it that way.
That's fantastic. But no, but you could do it. Let's say, let's say you have you're at a diner and someone's sitting next to you and they're about to grab fries off your plate. You would say to them, "Okay, fine. But you don't do there's no aggressive, like, stop that, hey? You don't have a hey.
Yeah, okay, all right. Say it again. I'll get it.
Okay. Oh, these fries look good. I'm going to grab some.
Hey!
That's... Have you been in this situation before? You had a response that was very specific.
What I said earlier, that was very my response.
No, I'm saying, has someone actually stolen your fries before?
No.
Okay.
People always try to grab you, like even in middle school, right? Like other middle school people used to take your snack.
Yes.
And run.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely. Oh, this is a horrible story, but I'm gonna tell it.
Okay.
Leave your name out of it because you'll be mortified. The one that you're talking about, I have a friend from college. And normally she tells everybody this story to say I'm horrible, but I'm not. I didn't, it was just a joke. So anyway, what was it? I think she was leaving Philly, going to go back to New York, and she had all these bags. I went to the restroom, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trip her real quick, and I waited for her to close her stall. I waited. I said, as soon as I hear the first drop of pee, I'm taking a bag. I heard a tinkle, and I went to snatch the bag, and I just heard, hey!
That's a vulnerable hey. That's I can't stop my pee. I don't want to pee myself. I have no way to defend myself here. That's the hey of like a true victim.
That's the only hey I know.
Oh my God, that's horrible. And then, so wait a minute, you took the bag.
Yeah.
And then.
I didn't go far.
Right.
Stop laughing.
And then she had to rush her pee to get out, because that's a hard position to put someone in, because you go, gee, do I either cut this pee in half and have to pee later, which I've done before. There's been an emergency or something and I've gone, and then it's stored up for later, or Do you just force all the pee out? Perhaps rupture your bladder. Who knows? There'll be, obviously it's an emergency, so there's no wiping or dabbing or anything. And then you got to pull your pants up and chase down the perpetrator.
See, for a woman, I don't think we can do that. Maybe with the age of Kegel exercises, maybe.
Yes.
But I know you gotta go. You gotta go out. If I finally made the decision to finally leave my desk and go to the bathroom, and there's no stop. Suck it up.
I like doing pranks. I have there's a devious quality to mine where I don't need to be around to see the reveal of it.
Oh.
I did when I was in high school. We had there were cell phones in high school, but we still had like the pay phones too. And during exams one year, I took shoe polish and I put it on the earpieces of the payphones. So then you just had all these people who used the phone to, I don't know, call their parents and come pick me up and whatever. And then they were just walking around with black on their ears, and most of them didn't even know. It's harmless, but it's also like devious because I did it. It's a prank that was open to the public.
The question is, how old were you?
Either 10th or 11th grade. But I also think, like, what does it say about me psychologically that I pulled a prank where I didn't even want to go, hey, you got black on your ears, and it's me. I did that. You know what I mean? I was just like, I didn't care.
You just stepped off.
Yeah.
That's some cool-blooded stuff.
That's very Batman villain watching in the balcony kind of thing. My work here is done.
Did you drink coffee then?
You know what I was into, and it'll tell you what a pompous child I was. There was a coffee shop by us that had Italian sodas, which is really just club soda with different flavored syrup.
Okay.
And I was on a quest to sample all the flavors. They had like 20 different flavors, and they had like sassafras. Like, who the fuck? You can't tell me what sassafras tastes like,
Yeah.
So I had to try them all. Can you explain to people what you do?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because okay. So I coin myself as like Yolanda the designer, and I think a lot of people don't know what a designer is. And so basically, the only thing I'll do the short version. I don't sew your gear. Don't want to sew your gear. Don't want the headache, because designing it is enough. So when I personally design a client's gear, I'm looking at them as a brand, even if they're not. I want to design something that really makes sense. Not you tell me something, I just do it because I won't. All money ain't good money. I'll be like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm helping with your colorways. I'm helping out with your fabric. If need be, you know nothing about what your measurements are, I create a chart for you. As I try to create as easy as possible to create your measurements to send to the maker. And I was nuts. I did too much for a little bit of money. That's why I didn't know no better. Well, no, I did know better. It's just the fact that wrestlers were so poor that I knew they couldn't afford me, and technically, y'all still can't afford me. That's the.
Yeah, I mean, you could have picked a more like lucrative client base,
Well, the funny. So here's the point that people don't realize. So I am legit a fashion designer. Like my career is in New York. I went to school for it, graduated.
Okay, but what does being a fashion designer mean? Because it sounds so vague to me.
Yeah, so and I think people think that we just do all of it, like this, like come up with the concept, come up with the colorways, pick out the fabric. Some people design the fabric, some people make the fabric, some people sew everything together. So yeah, a lot. There's people that still do back in the day, but But if you're in the industry, like a New York industry, like I was, or any other true industry of it, you're not. Not if you're trying to put it in stores, you're not. If you want to do it for the runway, that's awesome. But if you're trying to put this in a Macy's or Bloomingdale's and all that good stuff, no, you're manufacturing.
I see.
I'm the real deal. I'm not. And this is me not trying to shade nobody, but it's like I think that it's funny. I'm humble unless somebody tries me.
Well, I must say,
I have to find my balance because I'm not telling people who the fuck I am, and I need to.
Right. Okay. I have difficulty, setting boundaries, saying no to people, and knowing my. I mean, I know my limits, but I don't set them very well because I want to avoid any confrontation, even if it's small. However, I've read your website, and I'm almost inspired by how clear your boundaries are in terms of what you don't do and what you don't want people to ask you to do.
Oh, you have read when Yolanda was quite frustrated and pissed.
Yeah.
That is where that came from. I was so mad. And I was like, oh, fuck this shit. I am writing. No. Guess what? No.
It is so fantastic to read. And it makes me excited. Yeah, give us a dramatic reading of your rules on your website.
Oh, I love dramatic readings. Hold on now. Where you at? Where you at? All right, this is the same damn. And it's under rules.
Yes. I mean, you have a rules section. That really says it all.
Let me see. Damn, I forgot where I put it. I was saying, Yolanda. It's highlight. That's how I put it. I highlight and it goes, Gimmick got rules, yo. That's what it is. Gimmick's got rules.
All right, here we go.
All right, so let's fund the one where I'm sassy. Let's go to don'ts. All right, let me see. Bet here we go. Number 6, I think it's pretty sassy. No ASAP. No ASAP Rocky or Ferg. Well, technically, Ferg got kicked out of the group. But regardless, no ASAP. If you email me and tell me that you need your design ASAP, I'm going to hit your ass on the ASAP fees. So please provide a proper deadline. Hugs.
That's so nice. And but also, like, and this is what bothers me about ASAP in general. If I ask you to design me tights and you're like, here's the price, and I'm like, okay, let's do it, and I send you the money, you are getting it to me as soon as possible for you.
Well, I asked you for a deadline.
Right. But I'm saying that is as soon as possible. Like, when people say ASAP, they want you to fucking brush everything else to the side.
Yes, you're right. Yes, I see what you're saying now. Yes. Like, even at work, right? Like, the one thing about fashion, I never liked, at first I wanted to have like a company phone. I did, and then I realized what that meant. And I was like, oh, so y'all think we doctors. Because, because we get stuff made overseas, right? So there's a time difference. So if India is got a problem at our 3 o'clock in the morning, some companies expect you to respond.
Right.
I'm not that kind of girl. Because I ain't doing it for that. And that's a lot of, I'm not doing it for you. Leave me the fuck alone.
You know what I do? I do the reverse, where sometimes I'm working on something with people who are in LA. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I like to wake up early in the morning and I'll start doing work. Let's say it's 8 o'clock or 8:30 or whatever. And, it's a thing and whatever. I have this idea, so I'll email it to them. And, of course, 8:30 for me is 5:30 in the morning for them. They're not up. There's no way they're working. However, I forget the time zone, and I get it in my head that they hate me and they're not answering on purpose. Do you ever have that? Are you like a social conspiracy theorist where you're like, these people hate me. These people are looking at their phones going, fuck this person. I'm not answering them.
Let me see. So at some point I used to be like, oh my God, they might not like their design. It got so bad now for me. It's like, after a certain point, out of sight, out of mind, I gotta keep it pushing. Maybe you're broke. Maybe something happened in real life. Like now, I'm more like instead of it being on me, because I had to learn to cut that shit out. Matter of fact, here's a jewel that somebody that I learned from the internet.
Yes.
So there's two friends got to the argument. It was online. Everybody saw it, and the next day she was cool. And everybody's like, "Hey, person, why are you so cool after that hard breakout, blowout, blah blah blah?" She said, "Because I removed my feelings and looked at the facts, and ever since then, I stopped tripping."
I feel too much, and it's very narcissistic in a way, you know, to be like, oh, these person, it's all about me. Like, oh, they must hate me. I'm like, these people have lives, they have children, they have friends, they have other ways to make money, you know. And then I think about people that I haven't answered in a timely fashion, and it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. And I do my best not to be a hypocrite, because there's times where I have to pause. I have no problem. I admit it. I do talk to myself. It would be a time where I'm like, "No, Yolanda, come on now. You did the same thing." I was like, "Damn, I did. Shit, all right, fine."
I see, and I go, these people who I genuinely don't like or don't want to deal with, and I will actually answer them as quickly as possible because I want to get it out of the way.
I see.
You know, that kind of do the stuff you don't like first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's lingering, you know?
That is true, too. I will say sometimes that's a challenge for me. It's like, fuck, I don't feel like that. I don't got the mental capacity for this.
So, tell people, drop a few names of who you've designed.
Oh, man. Where's that site?
Oh, my God. You don't know your own?
I do, but I always hear the same people, but it is what it is. Cesaro or Cleo, depending on what's going on with my brother.
Yeah.
Drew.
Now, let's talk about that man a sec. Did you design just his gear, or did you also design? Remember when he wore those things on his legs? Oh, okay. You don't take any responsibility, but you did his gear. You didn't do like those weird suits he used to wear.
No. I didn't do suits, but a long time ago. So when I met Claudia, was during the Chikara days, and what happened? My grandfather is a tailor, and I hit him up on the MySpace, talking about the dating of it all, to tell him all of this. And then at King of Trios 2009, I think, that's when my grandfather made like an overcoat for him, like a trench coat. And then when he went to FCW, that's where he wore his gear until they made him a rugby player.
Right.
So I was trying to get my grandfather to make him a suit, but it just afterwards, but he just got too busy. And by that time, of course, he's all the way in Florida, not in PA like he was before.
Right. I understand. Who else?
Leo Rush. I'm extremely proud of that gear because everybody mama be asking me for it. I gotta say, well, I can't do the same thing, but I can do something for you.
Isn't that weird when wrestlers go, and you must see it because you deal with them differently, but there'll be a popular wrestler or someone will break through or win a title or something, and then all of a sudden, like 20 indie wrestlers will pop up with like similar gear.
It's got to a point where I can't. Sometimes I think I did it.
Right.
It's crazy because I'm gonna talk my shit because I know I set a blueprint for a certain style, and man, am I fucking seeing it. That's another reason why I've been quiet lately and falling back.
Right.
Because it's like I don't know how I feel about this.
But isn't that also like kind of, you know, an expensive clothing brand? They set the trend, you know, and then you'll go to Old Navy and you'll see a cheaper version of it.
Oh man, don't make me put on my site how high end you hoes because that's how I'm feeling right now. Let's see who else I have. Rockstar Spud, but I forgot his name. He wasn't Rockstar Spud.
Yeah, Drake Maverick.
Thank you, Drake Maverick.
Yes.
Deanna before she went to Impact Karen Q. This is just me looking through stuff.
Did you know that Karen Q wrestled me while I was managed by David Arquette?
No.
Mm-hmm. It was me and Cole Cabana, managed by David, against Ray Lynn and Karen Q. And Karen was amazing.
I like Karen. She cracks me up.
Wonderful.
She's a good wrestler too, but I like her as a human being as well. I just pass some people. I'm just looking at this like, oh, I forgot the AEW people. This is bad. So anyway, I have Evil Uno,
Yes.
which is now an action figure. Still is on his way. Anthony Bowen, probably some more people I can't think of. And that's all I can think of right now. I can't think. Boa from NXT, he was Xylee and them. This is literally me going on my website because I can't remember. I have been designing gear since. See, Sarah DeRay is actually the first.
Okay.
But and so that's technically 2000. What was she in the BDK? 9, 10, but it wasn't frequent until Claudio in 2012. But before that, I'll give you a history.
Ooh.
Because I don't talk about it a lot anymore. So, unless somebody can prove me wrong, in 2009, I was the first wrestling alternative T-shirt brand.
Ooh.
And I mean this, unless somebody can prove me wrong. So for a while I had these Future Endeavor T-shirts, like before Laurinaitis and all them ruined it.
Yes.
But it's Future Endeavor in red. And it was a term of endearment because at the time I was doing a lot of like freelance designing.
Right.
So technically I got not fired, but I got let go every,
I love when the soft fire of, well, we're just not picking up your contract again.
Yeah, that's all. I was like, I see what you suckers saying. Okay, fine. So to me, I understood, and I was like, oh, well, I think it's funny for a friend. Like I go through this just in a different world, right? And then I had an I Love Heels shirt. I want to say those were like the two popular ones, and like I've seen it, people wearing the PWI magazine and all that stuff. And then I quickly, I want to say maybe two or 3 years in, turned from a brand to a service, because now it's wrestlers who they didn't have people who designed their stuff.
Right.
So now I transformed it to a service, but I'm trying to hold on to the brand because that's originally what I wanted to do, and it just I don't know. Then eventually I saw everybody copy. I had a couple people copy off of me, and I had to hit them up, and I was like, I can't deal with this because I'm a very like. I don't got time for the keyboard warrior shit. I'm like, where you at? Which way you gonna be at? Because we gonna talk about this thing to say fuck this.
Yes.
So, and I was like, they gonna drive me crazy. Let's go back to what you originally wanted to do, which was the gear design. And funny enough, my consultation on that was with Claudio, because I asked him. I said, I'm thinking about getting into this industry. Which one should I do? He said t-shirts would be easier. He was right, because trying to find a maker. So basically I give maker jobs.
Right.
I outsource makers that are domestic and overseas. So
now, but don't you feel like when people steal your idea, and I have had quite a few ideas stolen, but I say to myself, you know what? If they want to steal it, first of all, it means it's, I would say, a good idea, number one. Number two, fine, because I'm the person creating it, so steal it, and I will just come up with another idea. You know, the stealer is bereft of ideas already.
That's true.
You know? Rarely do they last.
Oh, okay. So here was my issue. So, because WWE did 2 shirts. I know one was Future Endeavor, and it was another one. And I wasn't mad, truly, that WWE did a similar shirt. I was mad at all these suckers hitting me up and telling me, it is 5 o'clock at night. So-and-so I know. Share my shit with other people. So I get money. So
right.
Telling me like you're the first. tell me what WWE did instead of just sharing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
With others, like, oh, don't buy this, buy that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like wasting their tweet or their Facebook, especially Facebook at the time, was that. So that really that pissed me off the most. And of course, by the time I respond, because I'm working.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I totally understand. By the way, just for 1 second, the chat, Leo has a request, but I will get to it after this conversation. I don't want to make you wait for the request. It's an odd one. We've never met before in person?
No, we could have met, but you didn't attend the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? How was it? Tell me about it.
It was as magical as it could be. It was a good time. It was people who wanted to dance and enjoy themselves. Man, that Keith, I never. So I knew Miss Me and him for a while, but Keith I never got to personally meet.
Right.
And to see how confident and such a great personality that he has, it was just like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
I see it now. I get it. Yeah, I've seen Keith Lee. You know, the sensation everybody loves, but as a person, it's two different worlds for me. I've been in this game long enough where, to me, everybody not me, right? You know, so then I learned it the hard way. So, but it was nice to see. That was really nice. It was, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what it really was. It was nice seeing what real love looked like.
Aww.
That's what it was for me.
Aww. And then you go, what the hell is wrong with me? You're watching this and you go, well,
No, I go, what the hell is wrong with y'all? That's why I'll be single for another 2 years because I don't trust you suckers.
Are you familiar with my Keith Lee story?
No.
The first time I met him, I was eating ice cream. I was eating it out of a pint, like a Ben and Jerry's. I was eating it with a spoon. And he said, hi, how are you? And I was like, good, good. And as a joke, I offered him the spoon, like a scoop of ice cream,
Yeah.
Like, do you want some? Like I was going to feed him. It was a joke, obviously. And he said, in complete seriousness, he said, no, I'm okay. And then I was all fucked up because he didn't realize it was a joke, right? So now I'm just like, my mind is now blown and I can't get off it. So I don't know, a couple weeks later, I'm encountering him again and I'm already prepared for it. So I made sure the next time I saw him, I was eating ice cream again. Because I'm like, I'm going to do this again until he understands that it's a joke. Well, he walked in, he saw me, and then he said, man, you're always eating ice cream. And I'm like, fuck. Now he thinks I'm the ice cream guy. Now he thinks it's like my thing. And then my friend Nug did an interview with him for a show in Canada. And I'm like, oh, Nug, tell him I said hi. And so he's like, oh, yeah, RJ said hi. And Keith said, yeah, that guy's always eating ice cream. And I'm like, no. He's spreading this rumor now that basically I've started. Just because he did not acknowledge my joke. He thought I earnestly wanted to feed him ice cream. So I deal with that on sometimes I think about it, I'll forget about it, and then I'll think about it. Keith Lee just thinks I always eat ice cream. So what are you going to do? Okay, I will let you go, and then I will do this request and get out of here. But tell me your plugs and things of that nature.
Now that I decided, I guess I'll get back on social media again. You can follow me on, let me see, make it easier, Twitter and Instagram at Gimmicks247. Gimmicks is spelled with one M.
And when you say 247, that means people can contact you any day, any time, and you'll respond?
Nope. That means I like to do whatever the fuck I want.
They should say Gimmicks maybe 4 or 5 hours a day.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the best way. I'm barely on the Facebook handle.
Yes. Okay. This was lovely. Thank you for this.
Thank you. Thank you. This is going to end in my birthday weekend, and I wanted to end it this week.
Oh, I didn't even know. What the fucking humble birthday person. Well done. That's like eating a whole meal at a restaurant and paying and tipping well. And then before you leave, you go, by the way, it's my birthday. And like, you're a real like Robin Hood. Like, it's so noble of you to not open with the birthday. Really good stuff.
Look forward to finally meeting you in person, giving you hugs of love.
Yes.
This will happen one day.
Yes. Not at a wedding, but somewhere else, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you for allowing me to play.
Anytime. I will speak to you soon.
Later.
Goodbye. That was Yolanda. She was a wonderful laugh. And it's her birthday. She lowballed her own birthday, which is a humble thing to do. All right, let me do this one request from Leo, and I'll get the fuck out of here. Even David and SM is supporting Leo's request. Leo's request was, I got to go all the way back now, a man wearing huge 1970s glam rock shoulder pads on a crowded bus and apologizing a lot. Okay, here we go. I'll be getting on the bus. Okay. Sorry, I can. Sorry, everyone. I like music. Certain kinds of fun, funky music. I'm sorry. I didn't, I had a ride and didn't pan out. I had a friend who, let's say, stood me up and didn't want to go to REO Speedwagon as much as I wanted to go. Certainly in this outfit. But when we hear that organ, this is where you're all going? You're going to REO? Excuse me, driver. First of all, sorry for this. And then sorry again. Is this going to the REO? Yeah, well, I mean, I will transfer and then I will walk, and that's fine. Okay. You're here when you are ready to roll with the changes. Boom, 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 baby. Roll with the changes. I'm so. We're gonna need to call an ambulance and maybe an optometrist. Sorry. It's just such a fun song. And scene. That was your fucking request, Leo. Are you happy? Is everyone happy to bother me for just that? We're all happy now. We're having a good time. Jesus, enjoy yourselves. That was the program. What's coming up? More Babyface tomorrow. God TV on Wednesday. I'm sure there will be a slew of more idiocy. Thank you and happy birthday to Yolanda. And let's get a final look at these huckleberries. These persimmon. It's just one persimmon. Until next time, Godspeed.